Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's first DLC came out, that being the Teal mask. But did it do enough? And did Game Freak even fix the problems fans have with the game generally? Well, the short answer is, it's complicated. The first thing I want to look at is the expansion story. And it's Pokemon, so don't expect anything revolutionary to come from the main story quest. Personally, I found the story a bit lackluster. However, I never approached the DLC with high hopes of anything mind-boggling. And for most people, I'd assume the story doesn't matter too much. Those who play this expansion will find the main quest to be more of an introduction into the area. Which brings up this DLC's content size. If I were to find something to relate the map size to, I'd say it's most comparable to one of Pokemon Legends Arceus zone maps. Overall, it's not a huge expansion, more of a decent size that does leave the map feeling kinda barren from time to time. Leaving what is probably the most important aspect: quality. Majority of the new Pokemon designs are fantastic, but I personally did find 2 of the loyal 3 to be an eyesore. I mean, come on, why does this thing have its tongue out? In regards to the quality of the overworld, the set and setting leave a lot to be desired. Lackluster environments, a huge mountain that looks largely unfinished, sparse landscapes. I could go on for days. Because Game Freak really needs help in this department. So, let's dive into performance. This is easily the biggest concern when it comes to this game. And the DLC did no favors to improve this issue. I streamed the entire story on YouTube, and there were multiple times I thought my game was crashing. Mainly due to the fact that the game would suddenly freeze and stutter beyond belief. There was a pond you fight one of the loyal bunch at, and my game slowed down to almost a slideshow. It was concerning and had me on my toes about making sure to save every 5 seconds, so I didn't lose all of my progression.
Okay.
Sadly, I don't think a fix will come. From my understanding, it would take a considerable amount of manpower to correct the issues we face while playing. And personally, I think Game Freak are more focusing on the next release. But that's from me, and I don't develop the game, so take that with a grain of salt. But for fun, let's look at other developers. A game like Call of Duty puts out a high quality release every year. Albeit, thousands of people work extremely hard to make it happen, whereas Game Freak takes a little longer and puts out fun mainline experiences, but with major performance and graphical issues, about once every 3 years. They also have a considerably smaller team. So, Call of Duty isn't quite a fair comparison, but better comparison would be Zelda, right? Tears of the Kingdom came out much more polished, and with way fewer performance problems. Its art style is even somewhat similar to Pokemon. Yet, what we find here is that Nintendo's team takes around twice the time to release their game versus Game Freak. What could be the true underlying problem? The most probable explanation would be Game Freak's release schedule. There are around 3-year blocks for each generation to release. So that puts a considerable amount of strain on the team to come up with a concept and execute it to its fullest within that window. Remember the base game performance that was going to be addressed? I would bet instead there's a skeleton crew maintaining the DLC releases and updates for Scarlet and Violet. while the rest of the team works on the next release, and whatever other side projects Game Freak has in store. So that brings us back. Was the Teal mask enough to hold fans over and keep this generation of Pokémon relevant until the next DLC drop and mainline game release? Personally, the answer is yes. I have my grievances surrounding the performance and open world design. However, that doesn't stop me from enjoying Pokémon. Would I enjoy it more if it was of Tears of the Kingdom quality? Absolutely. I'm sure that is all our dreams. To have a true open world Pokémon experience we can all be proud of. And maybe we're getting closer. Remember when all we wanted was a true open world experience? Well, look at where we are now. That said, Game Freak still has a way to go. But I'm here to cheer them on. I want them to succeed because I love Pokémon. I'm sure many of us do, and that's why we all get so upset when we watch them push out mediocre content. So is it worth it? To me and my family, absolutely. But for you, it may not be, and that's okay. I'd love to hear your thoughts about anything and everything I said in this review. Do you feel the same way I do? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this episode, leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I upload weekly and would love to see you around on the channel. With that being said, I'll catch you next time.